go.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Denny over at For Positive Fulshire Veterinary Clinic, and today Maddie and I are going to be chatting a little bit more about specific cat behavior and some questions that you might have.
Dr. Denny, what is the most important thing to know about cat behavior?
So that's how they communicate with us. That's how you know if your cat is happy, sad, hungry, pissed off, having emotional damage about something. So behavior is how they communicate. Much like how we have nonverbal communication. That's what is that? That's behavior. So that's what cat behavior, and that's why it's so important.
Is it possible to fix behavior issues in a cat?
So I think if you start early, yes. And cats that are food motivated, absolutely. You can socialize them to anything. You can definitely train them. You just have to be willing to put the work into it. So I do think, certain behaviors can be managed. If you have a very stressful cat, there's things that we can do to help with that. There's calming feeling pheromones. There's music that's specifically made to help cats keep calm. There is different like food motivators that can help make them, have a more positive experience with certain things. So absolutely.
What are some signs and symptoms of cat behavior problems?
So I think, no having no bite inhibition. So if you get a single kitten and your kitten is biting the crap out of you and hard because maybe it was a bottle baby, because kittens when they're in litters they're taught how to not bite too hard by their siblings, that teaches them and their mom, like, they get put in their place, on, hey, this is, you can't bite that hard. So like biting is one. Scratching at furniture is going to be another issue that we hear a lot about. Teaching your kitten to accept nail trims or to have little nail covers that we can teach you how to apply. Going outside of the litter box, like instead of defecating or urinating inside the litter box, maybe we're going outside the litter box and we're pooping in the kitchen sink. That happened with mine. I had to go through that. And like, ew, gross, but it happens. And then, if he was mad about something now, we got that kitchen sink thing fixed, and now, like, and it's very rare, but he will poop in my bathtub, like if something is upsetting my cat. So, these are things we have to pay attention to and can be underlying emotional stress, underlying medical problems. So these are all really good conversations to have with your veterinarian.
When should I bring my cat in to see a veterinarian to discuss behavior?
When you know that your cat is not acting normal. So if they're peeing outside the litter box, if they're peeing in inappropriate places, if they're pooping in inappropriate places outside of the litter box, if they're being more vocal. I think it's funny because if you have a cat, and clearly you do if you're watching this video, if you're thinking about getting a cat, they have different meows. And I think it's so funny because I have 4 cats and my husband laughs at me, but I can tell what one cat wants or needs based off the tone and the type of meow. I know they're grating. I know I'm scared. I know they're feed me now or I'm going to drive you up the wall meow. I know that I'm thirsty. Please turn the faucet on meow. I know the mom help me, I'm stuck or something's wrong meow. So like the vocalization, like knowing that it's going to help teach you, hey, like that might be a problem. So if you notice behaviors that aren't normal for your cat, that's the time to come in. Or if you're having behaviors that's causing you frustration, that's the time to come in. So if you have a kitten that's biting the crap out of you when you're playing with it and you're like, oh my God, I got this kitten for fun and this is not fun. This is not fun. And it's starting to create strain on the human animal bond, that's the whole reason we have animals. We have animals for that unconditional love that they give us. And if they're scratching you or they're biting you or they're tearing your expensive leather couch up, those warm, fuzzy feelings are going to start to fizzle. So that's the time you need to come in and we can work together and figure out how to make things better.
How would a veterinarian diagnose behavior problems in my cat?
So I think we've just kind of touched on this, but we're going to take a really detailed history. I'm going to ask you, can you tell me what's going on? And then I'm going to get the story. Okay. This might be the story of how you got this kitten from a foster who bottle fed it. And now every time you're playing with this kitten, or maybe it's laying in your lap and you're petting it, all of a sudden it'll turn around and nail you and bite you. Or, your husband just bought this really expensive leather couch and your kitten is shredding it. And, now we're having marital problems because you love this kitten Your husband loved the kitten, but now the husband's not so sure he loves the kitten because it's scratching up the couch. You see where I'm going with this. We're going to take a very detailed history and be able to say, okay, from the story, I'm going to be able to pick out, okay, it sounds like this is the problem. These are the things we can try to make it better.
What are some possible health concerns that can arise from cat behavior problems?
So I think that urinating or defecating outside the litter box is going to be a big one. That can be a sign in older kitty cats of arthritis because it hurts to get in and out of the litter box, or it hurts to hold the posture. Cats are really good at hiding their disease. There's a study that just came out, and there's so many cats that we are missing arthritis signs, and we're catching it now because we're looking for it. And now we actually have a medication that we can give, an injection once a month, that's been life-changing for my 13-year-old cat. But sometimes it hurts to get in and out of the litter box. So they're defecating and urinating outside. So I think that's a big one. Being more hungry, okay? Like that's a behavior. That's not normal. If your cat's eating and losing weight, something's wrong. Alternatively, if your cat is like not eating and losing weight, there's something's wrong. So by listening to these cues of behavior, that's what's going to tell you, hey, I need to get my cat into my veterinarian so we can go ahead and figure out what's going on.
Why is early detection and diagnosis so important for cats with behavior issues?
Because you get to a point where if it's truly just behavior, we're not perfect. Nobody is perfect, right? We all have emotions. We all have, the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak. We want to catch these behavior problems before you get to that point. Because what can happen is if you get to a point where it's your marriage or your cat and your husband's giving you an ultimatum because your cat's peeing on everything, you're going to have to make a really hard choice whether or not to rehome, give up for an adoption, or in some circumstances, if this is coming from a source of illness, to euthanize. So early intervention is going to help us prevent from getting to that point. No one wants to get pushed into a corner. And that's why catching things so early is so important. Preventative medicine is just that. It's catching things early. It's preventing these major life problems or these major life upheavals before they occur. Like that's part of what we do. We take care of the pet, but we also protect the human-animal bond. Well, if the human-animal bond is fracturing because of something, it's our job to work as a team with you to try to repair that. That's the whole reason we do this. We love our animals, and you love your cat or you wouldn't be watching this video. All right, guys, if you have any further questions, please give us a call. There's tons of intricacies to cat behavior. I did not cover them all in this video. Usually this is a very good time to call and make an appointment so we can really sit down. A 5-10 minute video is not going to be enough information to tell you how to fix it, but it is something to alert you to, hey, there might be something going on, and it's much better to try to intervene sooner rather than later. So if you do have questions, or if you think your cat is acting abnormally, or if there's one of the behaviors that I'm talking about, please call and make an appointment and we'll get you set up and chat about it. Thanks, guys.